Introduction. There is a belief that quietly limits millions of people as they grow older. It is the belief that time has already passed, that opportunities belong to the young, that building wealth is something that should have been done earlier in life. By the time many people reach the age of 50, this belief has already taken root. They look back at missed chances. They remember decisions they wish they had made differently. They compare themselves to others who seem ahead. And slowly, without even realizing it, they begin to accept a dangerous idea, that it is too late. But this idea is not truth. It is a limitation created by fear, comparison, and misunderstanding, because the reality is very different. 50 is not the end of opportunity. It is the beginning of clarity. At this stage of life, something powerful exists that younger individuals often lack: experience. Experience brings perspective. It brings understanding of mistakes. It brings awareness of what truly matters. It removes illusions and replaces them with reality. And when this experience is combined with the right mindset, it becomes one of the greatest advantages in building wealth. Most people believe wealth is built through speed. They think it requires starting early, taking big risks, and moving fast. But in reality, wealth is often built through discipline, patience, and consistency. These qualities do not disappear with age. In fact, they often become stronger. A person in their 20s may have energy, but they may lack direction. A person after 50 often has both awareness and focus. This combination is powerful. Another important truth is that time still exists. Even at 50, 20, or 30 years of life remain. That is not a short period. That is enough time to build, grow, invest, and transform financial outcomes. The problem is not time. The problem is how time is perceived. When people believe time is gone, they stop taking action. When action stops, progress stops. And when progress stops, the belief becomes stronger. This creates a cycle. But that cycle can be broken. The first step is understanding that wealth is not only about starting early. It is about starting intentionally. Many people start early but without knowledge. They make mistakes. They follow poor advice. They act without understanding. Years pass, but progress remains limited. On the other hand, someone who starts later with clarity can move faster because they avoid unnecessary mistakes. They focus on what works. They act with purpose. This is why mindset becomes the foundation. The millionaire mindset after 50 is not about chasing money. It is about understanding money. It is about changing the way financial decisions are made. It is about replacing fear with strategy. Many individuals at this stage of life also carry emotional weight related to money, regret, disappointment, frustration. These emotions can become barriers. They can create hesitation. They can prevent action. But these emotions must be released because the past cannot be changed. Only the future can be built. And the future begins with the decisions made today. Another important shift involves identity. Many people see themselves based on their past. They think, I have never been good with money. I have never built wealth. I have always struggled financially. These statements become internal labels, and these labels shape behavior. If a person believes they are not capable of building wealth, they will act in ways that confirm that belief. The first transformation must happen internally. A person must begin to see themselves differently, not as someone who missed opportunities, but as someone who is ready to create new ones. Identity shapes action, and action shapes results. Another powerful advantage after 50 is focus. Younger individuals often chase many directions. They explore multiple paths. They change goals frequently. This can create confusion. After 50, clarity often increases. People begin to understand what they truly want. They value time differently. They prioritize more carefully. This focus becomes a strength. It allows energy to be directed toward meaningful goals. Instead of scattering effort, it concentrates progress. Another important factor is emotional control. Experience teaches patience. It teaches restraint. It teaches the consequences of impulsive decisions. These lessons are valuable in financial growth. Wealth is rarely built through impulsive actions. It is built through careful decisions made consistently. This ability often improves with age. Another misconception is that building wealth requires extreme risk. This belief creates fear. People think they must take large, dangerous steps to achieve financial success. But this is not true. Wealth can be built through steady, calculated decisions, through disciplined investing, through creating value, through building systems over time. These approaches do not require reckless risk. They require understanding and consistency. Another important truth is that resources already exist. At this stage of life, many individuals have developed skills. They have knowledge. They have networks. They have life experience. These are valuable assets. They can be used to create opportunities. They can be used to generate income. They can be used to build systems. Wealth is not only built from money. It is built from value. And value can be created from experience. Another key shift involves thinking about time differently. Instead of focusing on how much time has passed, focus on how much time remains. Instead of looking backward, look forward. Instead of asking what could have been done, ask what can be done now. This shift creates energy. It creates possibility. It creates momentum. Another important idea is that progress does not require perfection. Many people delay action because they feel unprepared. They wait for the perfect moment. They wait for complete knowledge. They wait for certainty. But perfection is not required. Action is required. Small steps taken consistently create progress. Progress builds confidence. Confidence creates momentum. Momentum leads to results. Another powerful concept is that wealth is a process. It is not a single event. It is not a sudden change. It is a series of decisions made over time. Each decision contributes to the outcome. Each action moves a person forward. This process can begin at any age. What matters is commitment. Another important realization is that comparison must stop. Comparing yourself to others creates discouragement. Everyone has a different path, different starting points, different experiences, different timelines. The only comparison that matters is with your own progress. Are you improving? Are you learning? Are you taking action? These are the questions that matter. Another key idea is that financial growth requires learning. Understanding money is essential. Understanding investing, understanding assets, understanding risk. These concepts can be learned at any age. Knowledge creates confidence. Confidence supports action. Another powerful shift is from consumption to creation. Most people spend money. Wealth builders use money to create more money. This shift is essential. It changes how every financial decision is made. Instead of asking what can be bought, ask what can be built. Another important concept is discipline. Discipline is not about restriction. It is about alignment. It ensures that actions match goals. It ensures that decisions support the future. Without discipline, progress becomes inconsistent. With discipline, progress becomes inevitable. Another important truth is that financial freedom is not only about wealth, it is about peace of mind. It is about security. It is about the ability to make choices. It is about living without constant financial stress. This is what makes the journey meaningful. At this stage of life, these values become even more important. This is not about chasing luxury. It is about creating stability and freedom. Another key idea is that starting now is always better than waiting. Every day that passes without action is lost opportunity. Every day with action creates progress. Even small actions matter. They build momentum. They create change. They move life forward. This is the beginning, not the end, not the final chapter, but a new phase, a phase defined by clarity, intention, and purpose. The millionaire mindset after 50 is not about what was lost. It is about what is still possible. And what is possible is far greater than most people realize. In the next chapter, we will break the limiting beliefs that hold people back and replace them with ideas that create growth and possibility. Breaking limiting beliefs. The biggest barrier to building wealth after 50 is not money. It is not time. It is not opportunity. It is belief. Beliefs shape perception. Perception shapes decisions. Decisions shape results. If a person believes that it's too late to build wealth, that belief will influence every action. It will create hesitation. It will reduce effort. It will limit exploration. Over time, the belief becomes reality. This is why breaking limiting beliefs is the first major transformation. Many of these beliefs are formed over years. They are repeated quietly in the mind. I am too old to start something new. I do not have enough time. I missed my chance. Young people have more energy and opportunity. Money is difficult to build at this stage. These thoughts may feel true, but they are not facts. They are interpretations, and interpretations can be changed. The first step is awareness. A person must recognize the beliefs that are holding them back. Without awareness, change is impossible. Take a moment to observe your thoughts about money. Do they create possibility or limitation? Do they encourage action or hesitation? Do they focus on the future or remain trapped in the past? This awareness reveals the starting point. The next step is questioning those beliefs. Where did they come from? Are they based on evidence or assumption? Have other people built wealth later in life? The answer is clear. Many individuals have achieved financial success after 50. Some started businesses. Some invested wisely. Some transformed their financial habits completely. Age did not stop them. Their mindset empowered them. Another important belief to challenge is the idea of time. Many people think that time is no longer on their side. But this is not accurate. Time still exists. What matters is how it is used. A focused 10 years can be more powerful than an unfocused 30 years. Clarity accelerates progress. Experience reduces mistakes. When these two factors combine, time becomes more efficient. Another limiting belief involves fear of change. After many years of living in a certain way, change can feel uncomfortable. New habits require effort. New knowledge requires learning. New decisions require courage. This discomfort often prevents action. But discomfort is not danger. It is growth. Every meaningful change begins with discomfort. Wealth building is no different. Another common belief is the fear of failure. At this stage of life, People often feel that failure carries greater consequences. They may worry about losing what they already have. They may fear judgment from others. They may doubt their ability to recover. But failure is not the end. Failure is feedback. Every mistake provides information. It shows what works and what does not. It guides future decisions. Wealth builders understand this. They do not avoid failure completely. They manage it. They learn from it. They grow through it. Another powerful limiting belief is comparison. People often compare themselves to others who appear more successful. They see individuals who started earlier. They see larger achievements. They feel behind. This comparison creates discouragement. But comparison is misleading. Every person has a different journey, different starting points, different experiences, different opportunities. Comparing paths creates unnecessary pressure. Progress should be measured individually. Focus on improvement, focus on growth, focus on action. Another belief that must be broken is the idea that learning is limited by age. Some people believe that it becomes harder to learn new concepts later in life. This belief is not accurate. The human mind remains capable of learning throughout life. In fact, experience often enhances learning. New information connects with existing knowledge. Understanding becomes deeper. Learning becomes more practical. Financial education can begin at any stage. Investing, business, money management. These are skills that can be developed. Another limiting belief involves identity. People often define themselves based on their past. I have always struggled with money. I am not good with finances. I am not an entrepreneur. These statements become internal labels. They influence behavior. They create boundaries. But identity is not fixed. It can be redefined. A person can choose a new identity. I am learning about money. I am building better habits. I am creating opportunities. This shift may seem small, but it is powerful. Identity drives action. Action creates results. Another important belief to challenge is the idea that wealth requires extreme effort or sacrifice. Many people associate wealth with stress, long hours, and constant pressure. While effort is required, wealth can also be built through smart decisions, systems, and consistency. It does not always require working harder. It requires working smarter. Another common belief is that money is complicated. This belief creates avoidance. People feel overwhelmed. They avoid learning. They avoid investing. They avoid making decisions. But the basic principles of money are simple. Spend less than you earn. Invest consistently. Create value. Build systems. Avoid unnecessary debt. These principles are not complex. They require discipline. Breaking this belief allows action to begin. Another limiting belief involves security. Many people believe that staying in their current situation is safer than taking action. They avoid change because it feels uncertain, but staying the same also carries risk. Costs increase, opportunities pass, time moves forward. True security comes from growth, from building assets, from creating multiple income sources, from gaining knowledge. Growth creates stability. Another important belief to replace is the idea of limitation. Instead of saying, I cannot, begin asking, how can I? This shift changes thinking. It opens possibilities. It encourages problem solving. It creates movement. Questions guide attention. Attention creates action. Another powerful step is surrounding yourself with new ideas. The information you consume shapes your beliefs. If you are constantly exposed to negative messages about money, those messages will influence you. Choose different input. Read about success stories. Learn from experienced individuals. Listen to ideas that encourage growth. This input reshapes thinking. Thinking reshapes action. Another key step is taking small actions. Beliefs change through action, not through thinking alone. When you begin acting differently, your confidence grows. When confidence grows, beliefs change. For example, learning one concept about investing and applying it creates experience. Experience builds belief. Another important concept is repetition. New beliefs must be reinforced. They must be repeated. They must be practiced. Old beliefs were built over years. New beliefs require time to strengthen. Consistency creates transformation. Another powerful realization is that belief creates possibility. If you believe something is possible, you begin looking for ways to achieve it. If you believe something is impossible, you stop trying. This is why belief matters so much. It determines whether action begins. Another essential idea is that change is always available. No matter how long a person has followed a certain path, a new path can begin. The past does not define the future. Only present decisions do. This realization creates freedom. It removes limitation. It opens opportunity. Breaking limiting beliefs is not a one-time event. It is a process. It requires awareness, questioning, and action. It requires replacing old thoughts with new ones. It requires consistent reinforcement. But once this shift begins, everything changes. Decisions become different. Actions become stronger. Opportunities become visible. Progress becomes possible. In the next chapter, we will explore one of the greatest advantages after 50, experience, and how it can be used as a powerful tool to build wealth faster and smarter. Power of experience, one of the greatest advantages after 50, is something that cannot be bought, borrowed, or rushed. Experience. While many people focus on what they believe they have lost over time, they often overlook what they have gained. Years of life bring lessons, patterns, insights, and understanding that younger individuals simply do not yet have. This experience is not just memory, it is knowledge shaped by reality. It is wisdom built through decisions, mistakes, and outcomes. And when used correctly, it becomes a powerful tool for building wealth. Most people underestimate the value of experience because they compare it to energy or speed. Younger individuals may move faster, take more risks, and explore more directions. However, speed without direction often leads to wasted effort. Experience provides direction. It helps avoid unnecessary mistakes. It improves judgment. It sharpens decision-making. This creates efficiency. Efficiency accelerates progress. One of the key advantages of experience is pattern recognition. Over time, people begin to notice patterns in behavior, markets, and outcomes. They recognize what works and what does not. They identify warning signs earlier. They understand consequences before they happen. For example, someone who has experienced financial mistakes in the past can recognize risky situations more quickly. This awareness reduces loss. It improves decision quality. Another important benefit of experience is emotional control. Life teaches patience. It teaches the impact of impulsive decisions. It teaches the value of calm thinking. Financial success requires emotional stability. Markets fluctuate. Opportunities carry uncertainty. Decisions involve risk. Without emotional control, fear and excitement can lead to poor choices. Experience strengthens emotional discipline. It allows individuals to act with clarity rather than reaction. Another powerful advantage is understanding people. Wealth is often connected to relationships. Business involves customers, partners, and teams. Investing involves trust and evaluation. Negotiation requires insight into behavior. Years of interacting with different individuals build this understanding. People become better at communication. They recognize intentions. They develop stronger judgment. This improves opportunities. Another key strength gained through experience is problem-solving ability. Life presents challenges. Over time, individuals learn how to navigate difficulties. They develop strategies. They learn how to adapt. They understand that problems can be solved. This mindset is essential for building wealth. Every opportunity involves challenges. Every system requires improvement. Problem-solving creates progress. Another important advantage is clarity. After many years, people begin to understand what truly matters. They become less distracted by unnecessary goals. They focus on what brings value. This clarity allows better decision-making. Instead of chasing multiple directions, energy is focused. Focused energy produces stronger results. Another benefit of experience is resilience. Challenges are not new. Failures are not unfamiliar. Difficult situations have already been faced. This builds strength. Resilience allows individuals to continue even when progress is slow. It prevents giving up during temporary setbacks. Wealth building requires persistence. Experience strengthens this quality. Another powerful advantage is resource awareness. At this stage of life, individuals often have developed skills, knowledge, and connections. These are valuable resources. Skills can be turned into income. Knowledge can create opportunities. Connections can open doors. Many people overlook these resources because they focus only on money, but wealth can begin from value, and value often comes from experience. Another important concept is decision speed. Experience allows faster and better decisions. Because patterns are recognized, less time is spent analyzing basic situations. This allows more time to focus on strategy. Faster decision-making creates momentum. Momentum leads to progress. Another key advantage is reduced risk. Experience helps identify risks more clearly. It allows individuals to avoid common mistakes. It improves judgment. This does not eliminate risk, but it makes risk more manageable. Wealth builders do not avoid risk completely. They understand it. Experience improves this understanding. Another powerful benefit is confidence. Confidence does not come from theory. It comes from experience. It comes from knowing that challenges have been faced before. It comes from understanding personal capability. Confidence supports action. Without confidence, hesitation appears. With confidence, decisions become stronger. Another important aspect is learning efficiency. Experience allows faster learning. New concepts connect with past knowledge. Understanding becomes deeper. For example, learning about investing becomes easier when a person already understands basic financial principles from life experience. This accelerates progress. Another key advantage is perspective. And perspective allows individuals to see beyond short-term fluctuations. They understand that setbacks are temporary. They recognize long-term trends. This perspective prevents emotional decisions. It supports stability. Another powerful concept is strategic thinking. Experience allows individuals to think beyond immediate actions. They consider consequences. They evaluate long-term impact. They plan more effectively. Strategy creates direction. Direction creates results. Another important factor is adaptability. Experience teaches that change is constant. Markets change. Industries evolve. Opportunities shift. Individuals who have lived through change become more adaptable. Adaptability allows continued progress. Another benefit of experience is discipline. Over time, individuals understand the importance of consistency. They recognize that results come from repeated actions. Discipline becomes easier to maintain because its value is understood. Another powerful idea is mentorship. Experienced individuals can both receive and provide guidance. They can learn from others who have achieved success. They can also share knowledge with others. This exchange of knowledge creates growth. Another important realization is that experience reduces fear. Fear often comes from uncertainty. When situations are familiar, fear decreases. This allows clearer thinking. Clear thinking supports better decisions. Another key advantage is time awareness. People after 50 often value time more deeply. They understand its importance. They use it more carefully. This awareness improves productivity. Another powerful concept is leveraging experience. Experience can be turned into income. Consulting, teaching, advising, creating content, building businesses based on knowledge. These opportunities use experience as an asset. Another important idea is that experience shortens the learning curve. Mistakes that others will make can be avoided. Lessons that took years to learn can now guide decisions immediately. This creates speed. Another benefit is stability. Experience creates a stable mindset. It reduces impulsive behavior. It supports consistent action. Stability is essential for long-term growth. Finally, experience creates wisdom. Wisdom is the ability to make good decisions based on understanding. It combines knowledge, judgment, and perspective. Wisdom is one of the most valuable assets in wealth building. While others may rely on trial and error, experienced individuals can rely on insight. This gives them an advantage. The key is to recognize this advantage, not ignore it, not underestimate it, but use it. Experience is not something that limits you. It is something that empowers you. When combined with the right mindset, it becomes a powerful force. It allows smarter decisions. It reduces mistakes. It accelerates progress. This is why building wealth after 50 is not only possible, it can be efficient, because experience replaces confusion with clarity, and clarity leads to action. In the next chapter, we will explore how to rebuild financial habits and create a strong foundation for wealth at this stage of life. Rebuilding financial habits. No matter what has happened in the past, the future is built on daily habits. Habits determine how money is earned, how it is used, and how it grows over time. After 50, rebuilding financial habits becomes one of the most important steps toward creating wealth. Many people at this stage carry habits that were developed years ago. Some of these habits may have created stability. Others may have limited growth. Spending without planning, saving without investing, avoiding financial education, relying on a single income source. These patterns may feel normal, but they often prevent progress. The good news is simple. Habits can be changed, and when habits change, results begin to change. The first step is awareness. A person must clearly see their current financial behavior. Where is money going? How much is being saved? How much is being invested? Are expenses aligned with priorities? Without this awareness, improvement is impossible. Tracking becomes essential. Writing down income and expenses creates clarity. It reveals patterns that are often ignored. It shows where adjustments can be made. This simple step creates control. Control leads to better decisions. The next step is intention. Money should not be managed randomly. Every decision should have purpose. Instead of reacting to expenses, plan them. Instead of spending without thought, decide in advance. This shift transforms financial behavior. Another important habit to rebuild is saving. Saving provides security. It creates a foundation. However, saving alone is not enough. Money must grow. This is where investing becomes essential. Many people save money but do not invest. As a result, their money remains stagnant. Wealth builders combine saving with investing. They use savings as a base. They use investing as a growth tool. Another critical habit is paying yourself first. Instead of saving what remains after spending, set aside a portion of income before spending begins. This ensures consistency. Even small amounts matter. Consistency over time creates significant results. Another powerful habit involves reducing unnecessary expenses. Not all spending is harmful. However, unconscious spending can limit progress. Small, repeated expenses can accumulate over time. Reviewing expenses allows better control. It allows prioritization. Money can then be directed toward growth. Another important habit is avoiding impulsive decisions. Emotional spending often leads to regret. It reduces available resources. It delays progress. Building the habit of pausing before spending creates better outcomes. Ask simple questions. Is this necessary? Does this support my future? This pause creates awareness. Another key habit is learning continuously. Financial knowledge is essential. Understanding investing, assets, and money management creates confidence. Set time for learning, read, study, listen to experienced individuals. Knowledge improves decisions. Better decisions create better results. Another important habit is setting clear goals. Without goals, actions lack direction. Define what you want to achieve: financial stability, investment growth, additional income. Clear goals guide behavior. They create focus. Another powerful habit is consistency. Small actions repeated daily create progress. Invest regularly. Save consistently. Learn continuously. Consistency compounds over time. Another key habit is building discipline. Discipline ensures that actions align with goals. It prevents distraction. It maintains progress. Discipline is not about restriction. It is about alignment. Another important habit is creating a financial plan. A plan provides structure. It outlines income, expenses, savings, and investments. It creates direction. Without a plan, decisions become reactive. With a plan, decisions become strategic. Another powerful habit is monitoring progress. Review financial activity regularly, monthly or weekly. This creates awareness. It allows adjustments. It keeps goals visible. Another important habit is reducing debt. Debt can limit financial growth. High-interest debt especially reduces available resources. Creating a plan to reduce debt improves financial stability. It frees money for investment. Another key habit is building multiple income streams. Relying on one source of income creates risk. Additional income sources create stability. They provide opportunities for growth. Another important habit is thinking long-term. Short-term decisions often create long-term consequences. Focus on future benefits. Invest in growth. Avoid short-term distractions. Another powerful habit is maintaining patience. Results take time. Habits require time to develop. Growth requires time to appear. Patience supports consistency. Consistency creates results. Another important habit is surrounding yourself with positive influence. Environment shapes behavior. Choose information and people that support growth. This reinforces good habits. Another key habit is reflecting regularly. Evaluate what is working. Identify what needs improvement. Reflection creates learning. Learning creates progress. Another powerful habit is acting despite imperfection. Many people delay action because they feel unprepared. Perfection is not required. Progress is required. Start small. Improve over time. Another important habit is valuing time. Time is a limited resource. Use it intentionally. Focus on actions that create value. Avoid distractions. Another key habit is building systems. Habits should support systems, automatic savings, regular investments. Structured learning. Systems reduce effort. They create consistency. Another powerful habit is gratitude. Appreciating progress creates motivation. It builds a positive mindset. This supports continued action. Another important habit is resilience. Challenges will appear, unexpected expenses, market changes, difficult situations. Resilience allows continuation. It prevents stopping. Another key habit is focusing on value creation. Income grows when value is created. Use skills, use experience, provide solutions. This creates opportunities. Another powerful habit is simplifying decisions. Complexity leads to confusion. Focus on basic principles. Save, invest, learn, build. Simplicity creates clarity. Another important habit is taking responsibility. Financial growth depends on personal decisions. Blame does not create progress. Action does. Taking responsibility creates control. Another key habit is commitment. Change requires commitment. Temporary effort does not create lasting results. Consistent commitment does. Finally, rebuilding financial habits is not about perfection. It is about progress. Each improvement matters. Each action contributes. Over time, these habits create transformation. They build stability. They create growth. They lead to wealth. In the next chapter, we will explore how to invest wisely after 50 and how to make smart decisions with limited time. Smart investing. With limited time, after 50, investing becomes more important than ever. At the same time, it must be approached differently. The reality is simple. Time is still available, but it must be used wisely. This stage of life requires clarity, strategy, and discipline. Many people believe that investing is only effective when started early. While starting early provides an advantage, it does not mean that starting later is ineffective. The key difference is approach. Younger investors may rely on long timelines to recover from mistakes. After 50, the focus shifts toward smart, calculated decisions. The goal is not reckless growth. The goal is stable, consistent progress. The first principle of smart investing at this stage is preservation. Before growing wealth, it must be protected. This means avoiding unnecessary risk. It means making decisions based on understanding rather than impulse. Preservation creates a strong foundation. Without it, growth becomes unstable. The next principle is clarity. Understand what you are investing in. Many people lose money because they follow trends without knowledge. They invest based on excitement rather than analysis. This approach is dangerous. Smart investors study. They learn how assets work. They understand risks. They make informed decisions. Another important principle is balance. Investments should not be concentrated in one area. Diversification reduces risk. Different types of investments respond differently to market conditions. When one area declines, another may remain stable or grow. This balance protects overall progress. Another key concept is consistency. Investing does not require large amounts at once. Small, regular investments can create significant growth over time. Consistency allows compounding to work. It builds momentum. Another important idea is realistic expectations. After 50, the focus should not be unrealistic gains. High-risk strategies may promise fast returns, but they also carry significant danger. Smart investors prioritize steady growth. They focus on reliability rather than excitement. Another powerful principle is income generation. At this stage, investments should not only grow in value, they should also produce income. This creates financial stability. Income-generating investments provide regular returns. They support lifestyle needs. They reduce dependence on active work. Another important aspect is understanding risk tolerance. Every individual has a different level of comfort with risk. After 50, risk tolerance often decreases. This is natural. Investments should align with personal comfort. Taking excessive risk creates stress. Stress leads to poor decisions. Balanced risk creates confidence. Another key principle is avoiding emotional decisions. Markets move up and down. Fear and excitement influence behavior. Smart investors remain calm. They follow strategy. They do not react impulsively. Emotional control protects long-term progress. Another important idea is long-term focus. Even after 50, long-term thinking remains essential. Investments need time to grow. Short-term fluctuations should not create panic. Focus on long-term trends. This perspective reduces stress. Another powerful concept is reinvestment. Income generated from investments can be reinvested. This accelerates growth. It strengthens the financial system. Reinvestment builds momentum. Another key idea is learning continuously. Investing is not static. Markets evolve. Opportunities change. Continuous learning improves decisions. Knowledge reduces risk. Another important principle is avoiding unnecessary complexity. Simple strategies often perform better. Complicated approaches can create confusion. Focus on clear, understandable investments. Clarity supports confidence. Another powerful concept is starting now. Waiting reduces opportunity. Even small investments create progress. Time still matters. Action creates results. Another key principle is planning. Define investment goals. Income generation, capital growth, financial security. Clear goals guide strategy. Another important idea is monitoring. Review investments regularly, not constantly, but consistently. This allows adjustments. It ensures alignment with goals. Another powerful concept is protecting against inflation. Money loses value over time. Investments should grow faster than inflation. This maintains purchasing power. Another key idea is liquidity. Some funds should remain accessible. Unexpected situations may arise. Liquidity provides flexibility. Another important principle is avoiding debt-based investing. Using borrowed money for high-risk investments can create loss. It increases pressure. Smart investing focuses on controlled risk. Another powerful concept is seeking advice carefully. Learn from experienced individuals, but avoid blind trust. Understand decisions. Take responsibility. Another key idea is patience. Growth takes time. Results may appear slow at first. Consistency creates progress. Progress creates results. Another important principle is aligning investments with life goals. Investing should support lifestyle needs. It should provide security. It should create freedom. Another powerful concept is confidence. Confidence comes from understanding. It supports decision-making. It reduces hesitation. Another key idea is discipline. Discipline maintains consistency. It prevents impulsive actions. It ensures progress. Another important principle is adaptability. Markets change. Strategies may need adjustment. Flexibility supports growth. Another powerful concept is focus. Avoid chasing every opportunity. Select a strategy. Follow it consistently. Another key idea is simplicity in decision-making. Clear principles guide action. Complexity creates confusion. Another important principle is responsibility. Take ownership of financial decisions. Learn from outcomes. Improve continuously. Another powerful concept is balance between growth and safety. Growth creates wealth. Safety protects it. Both are necessary. Finally, smart investing after 50 is not about catching up. It is about moving forward with clarity. It is about making better decisions. It is about using time wisely. It is about building stability and growth together. With the right mindset, investing becomes a tool for freedom, a tool for security, a tool for peace of mind. In the next chapter, we will explore how to create additional income streams and build financial strength even at this stage of life. Creating income streams. One of the most important shifts after 50 is moving from a single source of income to multiple sources of income. Relying on one income stream creates risk. If that source stops, financial stability becomes uncertain. Wealth builders think differently. They create multiple ways for money to enter their life. This creates security. It creates flexibility. It creates growth. At this stage of life, building income streams does not require starting from zero. Many individuals already have valuable resources, skills, experience, knowledge, connections. These can be transformed into income. The first step is recognizing what you already have. Years of work create expertise. This expertise has value. It can be shared. It can be used to help others. This is the foundation of new income streams. One of the simplest ways to create additional income is through sharing knowledge. Teaching, consulting, advising. Many people are willing to learn from someone with real experience. This creates opportunity. Another powerful approach is service-based income. Providing a service based on skills. This may include writing, coaching, problem-solving, or specialized work. Services create direct value. Value creates income. Another important method is leveraging existing networks. Over time, relationships are built. These relationships can create opportunities, partnerships, collaborations, referrals. Networking expands possibilities. Another powerful income stream is digital. Technology allows ideas to reach many people. Content, courses, books, online services. These can be created once and used repeatedly. This creates leverage. Another important approach is investing. Investments can produce income, dividends, rental income, interest. These streams provide financial support without constant effort. Another powerful concept is combining income streams. A person may have a primary income, they may add consulting, they may invest, they may create digital content. Each stream adds strength. Together, they create stability. Another key idea is starting small. Many people delay action because they think they need large resources. This is not true. Small steps create progress. One idea, one service, one investment. These begin the process. Another important principle is consistency. Income streams grow over time. They require effort. They require patience. Consistency builds results. Another powerful idea is focusing on value. Income grows when value is created, helping others, solving problems, improving experiences. Value creates demand. Demand creates income. Another key concept is time efficiency. At this stage, time is valuable. Income streams should use time wisely. Leverage is important. Systems are important. Efficiency creates growth. Another important principle is avoiding overwhelm. Too many ideas create confusion. Focus on one or two streams, build them, then expand. Focus creates progress. Another powerful concept is learning continuously. New opportunities require new skills. Learning supports growth. It improves income potential. Another key idea is adapting to change. Markets evolve. Technology advances. New opportunities appear. Adaptability allows progress. Another important principle is patience. Income streams take time to develop. Results may not appear immediately. Patience supports consistency. Another powerful idea is reinvesting income. New income can be used to create more income. This accelerates growth. Another key concept is reducing risk. Multiple streams create stability. If one declines, others continue. This reduces pressure. Another important principle is aligning income with lifestyle. Income streams should support goals. They should provide flexibility. They should reduce stress. Another powerful idea is confidence. Confidence comes from action. It grows with experience. It supports growth. Another key concept is discipline. Discipline ensures consistency. It maintains progress. Another important principle is clarity. Clear goals guide income creation. They provide direction. Another powerful idea is purpose. Income should connect with meaning. It should support a fulfilling life. Another key concept is persistence. Challenges will appear. Persistence ensures continuation. Another important principle is simplicity. Simple ideas often work best. Complexity creates delay. Another powerful idea is action. Action creates opportunity. Without action, nothing changes. Another key concept is growth mindset. Believing that improvement is possible. This supports learning. It supports effort. Another important principle is responsibility. Taking ownership of results. Learning from outcomes. Improving continuously. Another powerful idea is balance. Income creation should not create stress. It should create freedom. Finally, creating income streams after 50 is not about working more. It is about working smarter. It is about using experience. It is about creating value. It is about building systems. It is about creating stability and growth. When multiple streams exist, financial life changes. Risk decreases. Opportunity increases. Freedom grows. This is the power of diversified income. In the next chapter, we will explore how to protect and grow wealth wisely to ensure long-term financial security. Protecting and growing wealth. Wisely, building wealth is important, but protecting it is equally essential. Many people focus only on earning and investing, yet they overlook the importance of preserving what they have built. After 50, this becomes even more critical. At this stage, financial decisions must balance growth with security. The goal is not only to increase wealth, but also to protect it from unnecessary risk and loss. The first principle of protecting wealth is awareness. A person must understand their current financial position, what assets are owned, what liabilities exist, what risks are present. This clarity creates control. Without awareness, protection is impossible. The next principle is risk management. Every investment carries risk. The goal is not to eliminate risk completely. The goal is to manage it intelligently. This means avoiding extreme decisions. It means understanding potential outcomes. It means balancing growth with safety. Another important concept is diversification. Placing all resources into one area creates vulnerability. If that area declines, losses can be significant. Diversification spreads risk. Different investments respond differently to changes. This balance protects overall wealth. Another key principle is preservation of capital. Before focusing on growth, ensure that existing wealth is secure. Avoid unnecessary losses. Protect savings. Choose stable investments where appropriate. Preservation creates stability. Another important idea is avoiding emotional decisions. Fear and excitement can lead to poor choices. Market fluctuations may create panic. Temporary gains may create overconfidence. Wealth builders remain calm. They follow strategy. They do not react impulsively. Another powerful principle is long-term thinking. Wealth protection requires patience. Short-term changes should not disrupt long-term plans. Focus on consistent growth. This perspective reduces stress. Another important concept is liquidity. Some resources should remain accessible. Unexpected situations may arise. Having liquid assets provides flexibility. It allows quick response when needed. Another key principle is reducing unnecessary expenses. Protecting wealth includes managing outflow. Uncontrolled spending can reduce resources. Conscious spending supports stability. Another powerful idea is avoiding high-risk shortcuts. Promises of quick returns often involve high risk. These can lead to loss. Wealth builders prioritize steady growth. They avoid unnecessary danger. Another important principle is insurance. Protection is not only about investments. It includes safeguarding against unexpected events. Health, property, and other risks should be considered. Protection creates peace of mind. Another key concept is regular review. Financial situations change, investments evolve, goals may shift. Regular review allows adjustment. It ensures alignment with objectives. Another powerful idea is reinvestment. Growth continues through reinvestment. Income generated from assets can be used to create more assets. This strengthens financial systems. Another important principle is tax awareness. Understanding financial regulations can improve outcomes. Efficient planning preserves more wealth. Knowledge creates advantage. Another key concept is avoiding unnecessary debt. Debt can reduce financial stability. High-interest obligations can limit growth. Managing debt carefully protects resources. Another powerful idea is planning for the future. Wealth should support long-term needs. Retirement, health, family, planning ensures stability. Another important principle is simplicity. Complex strategies can create confusion. Simple, clear plans are easier to maintain. They reduce mistakes. Another key concept is discipline. Protection requires consistent behavior. Avoiding impulsive decisions. Maintaining strategy. Discipline ensures stability. Another powerful idea is adaptability. Markets change. Situations evolve. Flexibility allows adjustment. This protects long-term progress. Another important principle is focusing on quality. Choose strong investments, reliable opportunities. Quality reduces risk. Another key concept is knowledge. Understanding financial systems improves decisions. Learning continues to be important. Another powerful idea is balance. Growth and safety must work together. Too much focus on growth creates risk. Too much focus on safety limits progress. Balance creates stability. Another important principle is patience. Wealth protection is not immediate. It requires consistent effort. Patience supports long-term success. Another key concept is avoiding comparison. Focus on personal goals, not others. This reduces pressure. Another powerful idea is clarity of purpose. Know why wealth is being built. Security, freedom, peace of mind. This clarity guides decisions. Another important principle is resilience. Challenges may appear, markets may fluctuate. Resilience ensures continuation. Another key concept is responsibility. Financial outcomes depend on decisions. Taking responsibility creates control. Another powerful idea is confidence. Confidence comes from understanding. It supports better decisions. Another important principle is structure. Clear systems protect wealth. Organization creates stability. Another key concept is consistency. Repeated actions maintain progress. Consistency builds security. Another powerful idea is awareness of inflation. Money loses value over time. Investments must grow to maintain value. Another important principle is protecting against loss. Avoid unnecessary exposure. Make informed decisions. Another key concept is maintaining flexibility. Situations change. Plans may need adjustment. Flexibility supports growth. Another powerful idea is focusing on long-term value. Short-term changes should not disrupt strategy. Value grows over time. Finally, protecting and growing wealth wisely is about balance. It is about making thoughtful decisions. It is about maintaining discipline. It is about creating stability and growth together. This approach ensures that wealth not only grows, but remains secure. In the final chapter, we will bring everything together and explore how to live with purpose, confidence, and true financial freedom. Protecting and growing wealth. Wisely, building wealth is a powerful achievement, but protecting it is what determines whether that wealth lasts. Many people focus all their energy on earning and growing money, yet they overlook one critical truth. Wealth that is not protected can disappear. After 50, this reality becomes even more important. At this stage of life, financial decisions must be made with greater awareness, greater intention, and greater balance. The goal is no longer only growth. The goal is stability, security, and sustainable progress. The first principle of protecting wealth is clarity. You must understand exactly where you stand financially. What assets do you own? What liabilities exist? What income streams are active? What risks are present? Without clarity, decisions become uncertain. With clarity, control becomes possible. Clarity allows you to see what needs protection and what can be improved. The next principle is risk management. Every financial decision carries risk. The goal is not to avoid risk completely, because that would prevent growth. The goal is to understand risk, to measure it, to control it. Wealth builders avoid extreme decisions. They do not place everything into one opportunity. They do not chase fast returns without understanding consequences. They evaluate both potential gain and potential loss. This balance creates stability. Another essential concept is diversification. Diversification means spreading resources across different areas. Instead of relying on one investment, wealth is distributed. This reduces vulnerability. If one area declines, others may remain stable or grow. For example, investments can be spread across different industries, asset types, or income sources. This creates balance. Balance protects wealth. Another powerful principle is capital preservation. Before focusing on growth, ensure that what you have is secure. Many people lose wealth because they focus only on expansion. They take unnecessary risks. They ignore warning signs. Preservation means protecting the foundation. It means avoiding decisions that could cause major loss. A strong foundation supports future growth. Another important idea is emotional control. Money decisions are often influenced by emotion, fear during market decline, excitement during rapid growth. Both can lead to mistakes. Wealth builders remain calm. They follow strategy. They do not react impulsively. Emotional discipline protects wealth. Another key principle is long-term thinking. Short-term fluctuations are normal. Markets move up and down. Opportunities change. Focusing on short-term changes creates stress. Long-term thinking creates stability. It allows decisions to remain consistent. It prevents unnecessary reactions. Another important concept is liquidity. Liquidity means having access to funds when needed. Not all money should be locked into long-term investments. Unexpected situations may arise. Health needs, family responsibilities, opportunities. Having accessible funds creates flexibility. Flexibility reduces stress. Another powerful principle is controlling expenses. Wealth is not only about how much is earned, it is also about how much is kept. Uncontrolled spending reduces financial strength. Small expenses, repeated over time, all can have significant impact. Managing expenses protects wealth. It ensures that resources remain available for growth. Another key idea is avoiding high-risk shortcuts. Many people are tempted by promises of quick profit. These opportunities often involve high risk. They may appear attractive, but they can lead to loss. Wealth builders focus on steady growth. They avoid unnecessary danger. They prioritize sustainability. Another important principle is protection through planning. Planning creates structure. It ensures that financial decisions align with long-term goals. It prepares for future needs, retirement, health, family support. Planning reduces uncertainty. It creates confidence. Another powerful concept is insurance. Protection is not only about investments. Unexpected events can create financial strain. Health issues, property loss, other emergencies. Insurance provides security. It protects against major setbacks. Another key principle is regular review. Financial situations change over time. Investments evolve. Income sources shift. Goals may change. Regular review allows adjustments. It ensures alignment. It identifies problems early. Another important idea is reinvestment. Growth continues when returns are reinvested. Income from investments can create new opportunities. This strengthens financial systems. It accelerates progress. Another powerful principle is understanding taxation. Taxes influence financial outcomes. Planning can reduce unnecessary loss. Knowledge creates efficiency. Efficiency preserves wealth. Another key concept is reducing debt. Debt can limit financial freedom. High-interest obligations reduce available resources. Managing debt carefully protects wealth. It creates stability. Another important idea is focusing on quality. Not all opportunities are equal. Strong investments, reliable systems, trusted partnerships. Quality reduces risk. It supports long-term success. Another powerful principle is discipline. Protection requires consistent behavior, avoiding impulsive decisions, following strategy, maintaining balance. Discipline ensures stability. Another key concept is adaptability. The world changes, markets shift, technology evolves. Wealth builders remain flexible. They adjust strategies when needed. Adaptability protects progress. Another important idea is avoiding overconfidence. Success can create confidence, but overconfidence can create risk. Careful evaluation must continue. Humility supports better decisions. Another powerful principle is awareness of inflation. Money loses value over time. Keeping money without growth reduces purchasing power. Investments must grow to maintain value. This protects long-term stability. Another key concept is creating a safety margin. Unexpected events can occur. Having additional resources creates protection. It reduces stress. It provides security. Another important idea is focusing on long-term value. Short-term trends can be misleading. Value grows over time. Wealth builders focus on lasting strength. Another powerful principle is maintaining balance between growth and safety. Too much focus on growth increases risk. Too much focus on safety limits progress. Balance creates stability and growth together. Another key concept is responsibility. Financial outcomes are influenced by personal decisions. Taking responsibility creates control. It allows improvement. Another important idea is confidence through understanding. Confidence comes from knowledge. It supports decision-making. It reduces hesitation. Another powerful principle is structure. Organized systems protect wealth. Clear plans, defined strategies, consistent processes. Structure creates stability. Another key concept is consistency. Repeated actions maintain progress. Protection is not a one-time decision. It is continuous. Consistency ensures long-term security. Another important idea is patience. Wealth protection requires time. Results may not appear immediately. Patience supports discipline. Discipline supports stability. Another powerful principle is focusing on purpose. Wealth should support life, security, freedom, peace of mind. Purpose guides decisions. Another key concept is reducing unnecessary complexity. Simple strategies are easier to maintain. Complexity creates confusion. Simplicity creates clarity. Another important idea is resilience. Challenges will appear. Markets will change. Unexpected events will occur. Resilience allows continuation. It protects progress. Another powerful principle is awareness. Constant awareness of financial position supports better decisions. It prevents problems. It creates control. Finally, protecting and growing wealth wisely is about balance, discipline, and awareness. It is about making thoughtful decisions. It is about avoiding unnecessary risk. It is about maintaining stability while allowing growth. This approach ensures that wealth is not only built, but sustained. It creates confidence. It creates security. It creates peace of mind. And most importantly, it creates the foundation for true financial freedom. In the final chapter, everything will come together as we explore how to live with purpose, confidence, and freedom after building the right mindset. Final integration. Reaching this stage is not about information anymore. It is about transformation. Everything that has been discussed only becomes powerful when it is applied in real life. Understanding the millionaire mindset after 50 is important. Living it is what creates results. This final step is about integration. Integration means turning ideas into daily action. It means aligning thoughts, habits, and decisions with a clear vision of the future. It means becoming the person who builds wealth, not just someone who understands it. The first principle of integration is awareness. You must remain aware of your behavior. How do you make financial decisions? Are they guided by fear or by strategy? Do your actions support your future or repeat your past? Awareness creates control. Without awareness, habits remain unchanged. With awareness, change becomes possible. The next principle is identity. Wealth begins with how you see yourself. If you continue to see yourself as someone who struggled financially, your actions will reflect that belief. But if you begin to see yourself as someone who is learning, growing, and building wealth, your behavior will change. Identity shapes action. Action creates results. This shift is essential. Another powerful principle is consistency. Success is not built in one moment. It is built through repeated actions. Small decisions made daily create large results over time. Invest regularly, save consistently, learn continuously, build steadily. Consistency compounds. Another important idea is discipline. There will be moments when it feels easier to return to old habits. Moments when spending feels more comfortable than investing. Moments when doing nothing feels easier than taking action. Discipline ensures that progress continues. It aligns actions with long-term goals. Another key principle is structure. A clear system creates stability. Without structure, intentions fade. With structure, actions become automatic. For example, in setting a fixed percentage of income for investment creates consistency. Creating a schedule for learning builds knowledge. Systems reduce the need for constant decision-making. Another powerful idea is focus. At this stage, energy must be directed wisely. Too many goals create confusion. Too many actions create distraction. Focus on what matters. Building assets, creating income streams, protecting wealth. Focused effort creates stronger results. Another essential concept is patience. Growth takes time. Systems take time to develop. Investments take time to grow. Many people give up because they expect immediate results. Wealth builders remain patient. They trust the process. They continue acting even when results are not yet visible. Another important principle is resilience. There will be challenges, unexpected expenses, market changes, difficult situations. Resilience ensures continuation. It prevents stopping. Every challenge becomes a lesson. Every lesson improves future decisions. Another powerful idea is alignment. Daily actions must match long-term goals. If financial freedom is the goal, daily habits must support it. Saving, investing, learning, building. Alignment creates progress. Another key concept is elimination. Some habits must be removed. Unnecessary spending, negative thinking, impulsive decisions. These habits slow growth. Removing them creates space for improvement. Another important principle is learning. Learning never stops. Financial systems evolve. Opportunities change. Continuous learning improves decisions. It creates confidence. It supports growth. Another powerful idea is environment. The people around you influence your thinking. Choose environments that support growth, conversations about opportunity, ideas about improvement. This reinforces positive habits. Another key concept is reflection. Regular reflection allows improvement. What worked? What did not work? What can be improved? Reflection turns experience into wisdom. Another important principle is taking action despite uncertainty. Perfect knowledge is not required. Waiting for certainty delays progress. Action creates clarity. Clarity improves action. This cycle creates momentum. Another powerful idea is reinvestment. As income grows, reinvest a portion. This accelerates progress. It strengthens systems. It builds momentum. Another key concept is balance. Wealth is important, but it is not everything. Health matters, relationships matter, peace of mind matters. Balance creates a meaningful life. Money supports life. It does not replace it. Another important principle is purpose. Why do you want financial growth? Security, freedom, support for family, clarity of purpose creates motivation. It keeps you focused. Another powerful idea is confidence. Confidence comes from action. It grows with experience. It supports better decisions. Another key concept is simplicity. Complex strategies often create confusion. Simple principles are easier to follow. Spend wisely. Invest consistently. Create value. Build systems. Simplicity creates clarity. Another important principle is responsibility. Financial results come from decisions. Taking responsibility creates control. It allows improvement. Another powerful idea is time awareness. Time is valuable. Use it intentionally. Focus on actions that create value. Avoid distractions. Another key concept is growth mindset. Believe that improvement is possible. This belief supports effort. It supports persistence. Another important principle is momentum. Small actions create movement. Movement creates progress. Progress builds confidence. Confidence creates more action. Momentum grows. Another powerful idea is vision. A clear vision creates direction. What kind of life do you want? What level of freedom do you seek? What impact do you want to create? Vision guides decisions. Another key concept is gratitude. Recognizing progress creates motivation. It builds a positive mindset. This supports continued effort. Another important principle is commitment. Temporary effort does not create lasting change. Consistent commitment does. Commitment transforms habits. Habits transform life. Another powerful idea is taking control of the present. The past cannot be changed. The future is not yet written. The present is where action exists. Every decision today shapes tomorrow. This is where power exists. Another key concept is transformation. This journey is not only about money, it is about becoming a different person. A person who thinks clearly, a person who acts intentionally, a person who builds consistently. Transformation creates results. Finally, this is the truth. It is never too late. Not because time is unlimited, but because action is always available. At any moment, a new decision can be made. At any moment, a new direction can begin. At any moment, progress can start. The millionaire mindset after 50 is not about catching up. It is about moving forward with clarity. It is about using experience as strength. It is about building with intention. It is about creating stability, growth, and freedom. When these principles are applied consistently, change becomes inevitable. Results begin to appear, confidence grows, opportunities expand, and over time, wealth becomes a natural outcome, not because of luck, but because of disciplined thinking and consistent action. This is the beginning of a new chapter, a chapter defined not by age, but by mindset.